Have you ever wondered what shaped the course of the 20th century? Sometimes, to understand the giant, dark shadows of history, we need to look back at the small, seemingly insignificant beginnings. Today, we're taking a simplified look at the early life of Adolf Hitler, not to excuse, but to understand the context from which one of history's most notorious figures emerged. Our story begins on April 20th, 1889, in a small Austrian town called Braunau am Inn. A baby boy, Adolf, was born to Alois Hitler and his third wife, Clara Polzel. His father, Alois, was a customs official, a stern, authoritative figure with a short temper. Life in the Hitler household was often tense. Alois was a strict disciplinarian, and his relationship with young Adolf was strained. Imagine a home where fear, not warmth, was the dominant emotion. This difficult father-son dynamic is often cited by historians as a significant factor in shaping Adolf's personality. In contrast, his mother, Clara, was doting and protective. She was a quiet, gentle woman who deeply loved her son. Adolf, in turn, was very attached to her. This created a strange mix of experiences for him: the harshness from his father and the coddling from his mother. He wasn't a particularly standout student in school. He did well in primary school, but as he moved into secondary school, his grades began to slide. He clashed with his teachers and seemed to resent authority, perhaps a reflection of his relationship with his father. A major passion in young Adolf's life was art. He loved to draw and paint. He dreamed of becoming a great artist, a visionary who would create beautiful masterpieces. This artistic ambition became his primary focus, his escape from the mundane and often difficult reality of his life. He saw himself as destined for something greater than a conventional career. His father, however, had very different plans. Alois wanted his son to follow in his footsteps and become a civil servant. This clash of wills created a constant source of conflict between them. Adolf stubbornly resisted his father's wishes, determined to pursue his artistic dreams. This wasn't just a simple disagreement. It was a fundamental battle over his future and identity. Then, a series of pivotal events rocked his teenage years. In 1903, when Adolf was 14, his father Alois died suddenly. While this removed the immediate pressure to join the civil service, it also left the family in a more precarious financial situation. A few years later, an even more devastating blow struck. His beloved mother, Clara, was diagnosed with breast cancer. He cared for her devotedly until her death in 1907. He was only 18, and the loss of his mother, the one person who had consistently shown him affection and support, left him profoundly grief-stricken and alone. Now an orphan, with a small inheritance, Hitler made a bold move. In 1908, he packed his bags and moved to Vienna, the magnificent capital of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. This was it, his chance to fulfill his artistic destiny. He applied to the prestigious Academy of Fine Arts, full of hope and ambition. But his dream was shattered. He failed the entrance exam. The Academy told him his drawings showed more talent for architecture than for painting. He tried again the following year and was rejected once more. These rejections were a crushing blow to his ego and his entire sense of self. He, who saw himself as a gifted artist, was told he wasn't good enough. This failure sent him into a downward spiral. He began to drift, living in homeless shelters and men's hostels, earning a meager living by painting postcards of Vienna cityscapes for tourists. He was an anonymous face in a bustling, multi-ethnic city, feeling like a failure, resentful, and bitter. It was during these difficult years in Vienna that many of the dark ideologies that would later define him began to take root. Vienna at the time was a hotbed of political extremism, nationalism, and widespread anti-Semitism. Hitler absorbed these ideas like a sponge. He read radical pamphlets, listened to fiery political speeches, and developed a deep-seated hatred for various groups he blamed for his personal failures and for what he saw as the decay of society. His personal bitterness merged with these popular prejudices, creating a toxic worldview. When World War I broke out in 1914, it gave him a renewed sense of purpose. He eagerly enlisted in the German army, not the Austrian, and served as a dispatch runner on the Western Front. For the first time, he felt a sense of belonging, a camaraderie, and a cause worth fighting for. He was a brave soldier, decorated for his service. The war was his home. So, when Germany surrendered in 1918, he felt a profound sense of betrayal. He couldn't accept the defeat. Like many others, he bought into the stab-in-the-back myth, the conspiracy theory that Germany hadn't been defeated on the battlefield but was betrayed by politicians and minority groups at home. This feeling of national humiliation, combined with his personal grievances, fueled an intense desire for revenge. After the war, he remained in the army and was assigned to be an intelligence agent, tasked with infiltrating small political groups. One day, he was sent to observe a tiny, obscure party called the German Workers' Party. During a meeting, he stood up and delivered an impromptu, passionate speech. His powerful oratory skills captivated the small audience. The party's leaders recognized his talent and invited him to join. This was the turning point. The failed artist had found his true calling, politics. He quickly rose through the ranks, his fiery speeches attracting more and more followers who were disillusioned by the post-war chaos and economic hardship in Germany. He renamed the party the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or Nazi Party for short. The boy who once dreamed of painting Vienna's beautiful buildings now dreamed of rebuilding Germany in his own dark image. From there, his path is a well-known, tragic chapter of history. Through a combination of political maneuvering, powerful propaganda, and exploiting public anger, he eventually became the Chancellor of Germany in 1933. He dismantled democracy, established a brutal totalitarian regime, and set the world on a path to the most destructive war in human history, leading to unimaginable suffering. Looking back, the journey from the small boy in Braunau to the dictator in Berlin is a chilling reminder of how personal grievances, when mixed with potent, hateful ideologies, can have world-altering consequences. It's a complex story with no simple answers, but by examining these early years, we gain a clearer perspective on the forces that shaped this dark chapter of our collective past. Understanding history is crucial to building a better future. Thank you for joining me on this historical exploration. If you found this video informative, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more deep dives into history. Stay curious and see you next time.